Hello YouTube, this is Dexter Nolan here with a brand new deck profile. I'm bringing you Mermails, post-regionals. I went X2, that's 7 rounds, and the deck went pretty well. It did lose against my two Satellarknight matchups, but other than that it beat Shaddolls and it did pretty well against Burning Abyss. So here it goes. First we got one Moulin Glacier. He's too good, easy to summon, easy to search, and just a very good card overall. You want to run the one copy of him. One Abyss Lead and one Abyss Megalo. These are usually targets for Linde. However, Megalo is easily summonable from hand and quite good when you do so. Lead is a bit of a dead draw, but this is offset just by how good his effect is. Next we got Triple Teus. Teus is one of the best cards in the deck. He's what sets off your Atlantean effects. Very good card. Searcher, keeps the consistency going in the deck. Next you got Triple Linda. Some people run 2, I run the 3 because it's just a very good card, and in the grind games that Burning Abyss and Shadow put you in, you kind of want to have the 3 copies for when you resolve the 3rd sphere. Triple Pike. Like Teus, he's a consistency card of the deck. He works in a similar way that Teus does, except he does get around Vanities, which is also a very good, a very popular card this format, so 3 Pike. Next for the discard cards, you got one Gunday. Gunday is very good, it revives a Mermail from the grave. This is usually a lead or a Megalo, so very good card. One Dragoons because it's limited, so is Gunday. This searches Sea Serpent, so usually it searches Moulin Glacier or maybe an Atlantean. Either way, it's a very good card. I run 3 heavy infantry. Most people just run 1 and very rarely the 2nd. I run all 3 of them simply because I want to open up as good as possible against every deck I can. I want to always have fuel that's not dead, so I don't want to be discarding stuff like Pike for no advantage gain. I'd rather discard stuff like Heavy Infantry and plus off it. Marksman is a 3F card. It's like Pike, I mean it's like Heavy Infantry except it's better. I do run the 3, definitely maxed out on this card, especially with Shaddolls in the format. Next you got 2 Genex Undyne and 2 Genex Controller. These are just fantastic. You always want to run the 2 copies of this, or 3. It's just great to open against so many decks. It can win games, and it's an out to so many things as well. It's pretty much a toolbox card on its own. 1 Tidal and 1 Gores. Tidal is the MVP of the deck, definitely much better than any Mermail card. So useful, and Gores is just there because he's level 7, so he promotes synchro plays with Genex Undyne or rank 7 plays with Tidal. Great defensive card, especially with so little traps here in this deck. Next on to the spells, we got 1 Mind Control. So good in the Shadow matchup, especially when Genex Controller is always in the hand. You can steal their monster and sync with it. So very useful card, definitely run the 1. Triple MST. The Vanity's Emptiness is such a big card this format and it kills this deck. You don't want to have to play around it. MST is just there, a very good card and a very format exclusive card. This card was junk last format, it's excellent, a 3F card this format. 1 Allure because Controller and 1 Soul Charge because it's just the best spell in the game. So 1 of these. And onto the traps, I left out Torrential because I just figured that Burning Abyss, Shadow are just too good in this format, and because of that they're going to be seeing a lot of play, and Torrential will be pretty much dead in half your games, as it was in this regional. These 3 I still think of relevancy. This is just too good against an opening Deneb because it can take him out, so Altair cannot get him back for the 2nd search. 2 Breakthrough, excellent card overall. Great against Dante's, great against Dweller, great against stuff like Satellarknights, Deneb searches. So 2 of those. And last but not least, we got 3 Sphere for the main deck. Sphere is so good, and it's possibly the reason that Mermails are still playable, because this card just it can toolbox into Pike to just disrupt their plays. It can get Linda and get a beater, so very good card. Next we have the extra deck. 2 rank 7s, which are Big Eye and a Draxac, because you can make these fairly easily. Very good cards, and defensive, offensive. Bahamut, I've never made this, at least I didn't make it at the regionals, and Castel, I do make this quite a lot. Black Ship to get around the hands, and a Rhapsody because this guy can do so many great things. For 3s we got these 4. That's a Bahamut Shark target. This is defensive, this is offensive, and this is offensive. Not much to say about those. You do not use the extra deck as much as other parts of the deck in this build. Leo, you make this quite a lot, and Star Eater you make rarely, but it's worth the spot. Then you got Goyo, Ancient Fairy, and Catastor. These are just, if you can make them, usually for a Gen X controller with a stolen monster, or Gen X controller with a soul charged Mermail. And the last part of the deck is the side deck. I feel this is a very important part of the deck in a regional, because it's helped me win so many game 2 and 3s. Double Puppet Plant. This card is just too good. It steals pretty much any of the big 3's monsters, and that's a great thing to have. Novaman for Shadows. Doesn't need explanation, it's just too good. Double Soul Release, that's just for the LS Ruler matchup, because that deck does do a lot of bad things to our deck, and because of that we kind of want to take him out of the game. Malcat is just there for trap heavy decks, especially stuff like rogue kind of trap heavy hat kind of builds. And Chain this at 3, that is for Burning Abyss and Raccoons. Very good card, takes a lot of those decks out of the game. Chain this to Obedience School and it's pretty much a win. Double Sim and Double Limb, Shadows, Burning Abyss, and Light Sworn and Satanites. Thank you very much for watching. Please comment, rate and subscribe, and peace out.